speech and his words were what pushed those delegates from Virginia, which was the largest colony in America, pushed them forward to begin assembling militias and sending them for a colonial government. And we'd like for you to listen just for a few minutes. We're going to have read to us a portion of that great speech, 1775, by Patrick Henry.
This is no time for ceremony. For my own part, I consider it as nothing less than a question of freedom or slavery, and in proportion to the magnitude of the subject, ought to be the freedom of this debate. It is only in this way that we can hope to arrive at truth and fulfill the great responsibility which we hold to God and to our country. Should I keep back my opinions at such a time through fear of giving offense? I should consider myself guilty of treason towards my country and of an act of disloyalty towards the majesty of heaven, which I revere above all things. It is natural to man to indulge in the illusions of hope. We are apt to shut our eyes against a painful truth and listen to the song of that siren till she transforms us into beasts. Is this the part of wise men engaged in a great and arduous struggle for liberty? Are we disposed to be of the number of those who, having eyes, see not, and having ears, hear not the things which so nearly concern their temporal salvation? For my part, whatever anguish of spirit it may cost, I am willing to know the whole truth, to know the worst, and to provide for it. Ask yourselves how this gracious reception of our petitions comport with those warlike preparations which cover our waters and darken our land. Are fleets and armies necessary to a work of love and reconciliation? Have we shown ourselves so unwilling to be reconciled that force must be called in to win back our love? Let us not deceive ourselves. These are implements of war and subjugation, the last arguments to which kings resort. I ask, gentlemen, what means this martial array? If its purpose be not to force us to submission, can gentlemen assign any other possible motive for it? Has Great Britain any enemy in this quarter of the world to call for this accumulation of navies and armies? No, she has none. They are meant for us. They can be meant for no other. They are sent over to bind and rivet upon us those chains which the British ministry have been so long forging. And what have we to oppose to them? Shall we try argument? We have been trying that for the last 10 years. Have we anything new to offer upon the subject? Nothing. We have held the subject up in very light which is capable, but it has all been in vain. Shall we resort to entreaty and humble supplication? What terms shall we find that could be done to avert the storm which is now coming on? There is no longer any room for hope. If you wish to be free, if we mean to preserve and violate those inestimable privileges for which we have been so long contending, if we mean not basely to abandon the noble struggle in which we have been so long engaged, and which we have pledged ourselves never to abandon until the glorious object of our contest shall be attained, we must fight. I repeat it, we must fight. An appeal to arms and to the God of hosts is all that is left us. They tell us that we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week or the next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed and when a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemy shall have bound us hand and foot? We are not weak if we make a proper use of those means which the God of nature hath placed in our power. The millions of people armed in the holy cause of liberty and in such a country as that which we possess are invincible by any force by which our enemy can send against us. Besides, we have no election. If we were base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. The war is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat, let it come. It is vain to accentuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war is actually begun. Why stand here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
I haven't heard any speeches like that around Congress. Have you guys? God give us some people like that with some courage and